What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be looking at something a little different than usual. So as my full-time job, I run my own automotive detailing business. So on a weekly basis, I am polishing vehicles and ceramic coating them. One of my best hobbies I have is riding e-bikes. So we're going to be putting the two together today, and I'm going to be showing you guys how to ceramic coat your e-bike. So before we dive into the process, let's go over the key thing here, and that is, what is a ceramic coating? One product I recommend, I've always used for many years. This is Crystal Serum Light by a company called G-Technic. I've used other ceramic coatings as well, but this one to me is the easiest to install and also offers the best protection and performance. So what this is basically is this is a chemical that bonds to the surface that you apply it on. It creates a semi-permanent bond which makes the surface hydrophobic and also offers a sacrificial layer. So on your bike, what this will do is this will make it easier to clean, stay clean longer, and it'll protect your paint from getting any permanent damage from water spots, bug etching, sap, and so on. So I already have my other bike ceramic coated, my Event 10 level. I also have it in my vehicle there. I also have it in my wife's vehicle. So I'm gonna do this bike now, so I figured I'd do a video and show you guys how to do it as well. In case anyone is interested, this is the Hemiway Escape Pro moped style e-bike. I have a few other videos about this bike on my channel as well, so if you want to take a look at those, go ahead. And I'll also drop a link to this bike in the description as well. So the first thing you want to do is get the bike clean. There's a few different ways you can do this. You can use a car wash soap, or my favorite, use a product called ONR Optimum No Rinse. What this is basically a product that you will spray on the bike, let it sit for a few seconds and wipe it off, and then you're good to go to clean around the bike. There's no need for water, so it makes the process a lot more easy and streamlined. I know some people use Dawn dish soap to clean their bikes or cars. I highly do not recommend to do that. That is not meant for paint, and over time that's going to cause your paint to have premature wear and possibly cause damage to it. So try to stick to things that are actually formulated for paint and cars. All right, so this is the product I just told you guys about. It's by a company called Optimum. It's commonly known in the detailing world as ONR, but it's basically called Optimum No Rinse. And what it is basically, like I said, it's something you spray onto the bike. It encapsulates the dirt so that it doesn't harm the paint, and then it allows you to rub it off without digging itself into the surface. What I love about this product is it's not ready to use. It comes in a concentrate. So when you buy a bottle, you only put about a half of an ounce of product and the rest of the bottle all water. So with that one bottle, you can clean your bike, 6 or 7 times. Then you go back and refill it with a little bit more, and you keep doing that. One small 16-ounce bottle for a regular person is probably going to last you a lifetime. I've had this bottle for a few years now. I use this in all my customers' vehicles and my own, and you can see I still have a ton left. I'm probably getting another 2-3 years out of this before I need another gallon. If your bike is already a lot more dirty, you've been riding it through mud, or you just haven't washed it in a while, I would not recommend using the ONR, because that is only for like a kind of an in-between wash, or when the bike is not too dirty, just needs a touch up, you'll put that on there. If it needs a more thorough clean, definitely use a car wash soap. This is one I highly recommend and use in all my customer vehicles and my own. Meguiar's Gold Class Car Wash. You can get it from Target, Walmart, Home Depot, Amazon, just about anywhere. It's about 11 bucks a gallon, 11 bucks for half a gallon actually. And if you want to use a different car wash soap, that's fine too. You just have to make sure it does not have a wax or sealant in it. It has to be a pure soap, because if it has a wax or a sealant, that's going to go onto the bike, and that's not going to allow the coating to bond properly. If you are going to use the Optimum No Rinse product that I first recommended, what you're going to do is basically dilute that, put that in a 16-ounce or 32-ounce bottle, and then you want to spray that onto the bike and then wipe it off and get that area clean. When you do that, you want to make sure you use a decent, good quality microfiber towel. These are ones that I get from Costco, and I highly recommend these. They come in about a 36 pack, and it costs about 16, 17 bucks, I believe. If you don't have a Costco membership, they also have them at Sam's Club. They just come in blue color, but they're basically the same exact towels for the same price. If you don't have either of those memberships, I'll put some links in the description so you guys can pick up some decent towels to get your bike clean, also to apply the coating shortly. When you use these towels, one thing I want to point out is I'll make sure you fold them in fours like this. So you want to fold it once in half, Then you want to fold it again to make a square. What this does, it allows you to have 4 clean sides. So when you do your first wipe, you do it on this side, then you flip it over, you have another clean side. And then you repeat that, flip it over to the other side, and you have 2 more clean sides. I see some people, they have a tendency to just grab a towel like this and clean or wipe like that. You don't want to do that. It's not a good way to do it. Whenever you use microfiber towels, you always want to get in the habit of folding them in a square just like this. All right, so step 2, once you got the bike nice and clean, the next thing you want to do is prepare the paint to apply the coating. The product I'm using today is called Optimum Paint Prep. This only comes in a gallon size, I believe. I have this because, like I said, I use it on my customer vehicles. As a person doing this for themselves, you're not going to want to buy this. It just doesn't make sense. You're not going to use all of it. What you're going to want to do instead is make your own, what's called an IPA wipe. You just need water and alcohol. So go to your Walmart, Target, pick up a 70% bottle like this, like $1 something. Get a spray bottle, whether 16 ounce or 32 ounce, doesn't matter. And basically you just put some of this inside the bottle, mix it with some water, and that'll give you the proper dilution you need to wipe down the bike. The dilution ratio is different depending if you have a 16 ounce bottle or a 32 ounce bottle. So I'll put that in the description. So go ahead and look down there to figure out how to make this. And basically the reason why you are making that is prior to the coating, you want to make sure your surface is as clean as possible. If there's anything on the surface and you put the coating on it, it's not going to properly bond and it's going to fail prematurely. So when you get the spray on there, what that's going to do is that's going to strip off any oils from the surface. So on a regular day basis, when you're touching the bike, or maybe you might have put a product on here before, and the product is going to strip that all off to get this down to the bare material so we can get the best adhesion and bond possible from the coating. All right, so once you have your IPA mixed together, what you want to do is go ahead and spray that on any cosmetic areas of the bike. You do not want to spray it onto any functional areas where like the shocks or the chain or anything like that. The ceramic coating is just for cosmetic purposes. So you want to put it on the fender, the frame, the handlebars, basically anything that just has paint or plastic. So you just go ahead and spray this onto the tube here. Or if you want to make it easier, just spray onto your towel and wipe that onto the bike. That'll probably be the safer way to do it. Right now, I don't have the battery on here, but if you're coating your bike, I highly recommend having your battery on here, not only so you can coat the bottom of it as well, but so that it closes off any electrical connectors in here so you don't get any spray in there. All right, so you just spray it on there, let it dwell for a few seconds so it can do its thing and break down the oils. I usually wait about 10-15 seconds. And then once you've done that, grab your microfiber towel, spray it around, just wiping it off, kind of wiping it in at the same time to get everything off of it. Once it looks kind of dry, flip around your towel and go ahead and get the rest dry and get all the spray off that as well. Go ahead and repeat that onto everywhere you are going to coat. It's a little more tough on bikes that have spokes, but I still did it on my Venton level. I would highly recommend doing the wheels as well. You just gotta spray, and if it has spokes, you just gotta kind of finger through every little gap. With these, they have nice deep dish wheels. This is much easier, so I'm gonna go ahead and do those as well. All right, so once the bike is cleaned, you've prepped the paint, you are now ready to apply the actual coating. So like I said, the one I recommend is by G-Technic. It's called Crystal Serum Light. You're free to use other coatings if you like, but for me, this is the easiest one to apply. One of the easiest ones to apply. It also gives me great results, so I recommend this one. I'll put a link to it in the description as well. When you get this, it will come with the bottle, this little droplet. This basically, you put it inside here, grab some of the coating, and you put it over here. And this is the applicator you're gonna be using to apply the coating. This all comes together in the same little box. The set for this is about 65, 70 bucks, I believe. Even though this bottle looks tiny, this coating can do a lot. Out of one of these bottles, I can usually get about 1.5 to 2 vehicles out of this. This is one I had left over from a vehicle I just did. So this is what I have left. That's probably enough for me to do 2 bikes. So if you get this, you can probably coat 10 bikes with it if you have them. But it does have a shelf life, so as soon as you open it, it does start curing on its own, so you have about a month before you can't use it anymore. So once you use it, if you still have some left and you plan to use it again, I'll recommend putting it in the fridge, and that'll help it last a little longer as well. But once you start seeing little flakes appearing in there, It's not good to use it anymore. Don't use it. So, all right, so what you want to do is open it up, grab the dropper, put it inside. You always want to make sure the bottle is sealed again with the dropper in between uses. So we're going to put some coating right now. You would untwist this, grab some out, put it on the applicator, and before you go to wipe this onto the bike, you want to make sure you put this dropper back in there and close it up, because this does cure with air. So you always want to keep this closed as much as possible. So the first thing you want to do is prime your pad. So with this, I usually put about a full droplet onto there. So what you want to do is just kind of get that on there. I'll put a little more. And that's going to get your pad slightly saturated for the first wipe. After the first wipe, your pad is already primed. So you can go ahead and put about a half of the droplet, so one lying on there, and that'll be good enough to do the next panel. A little goes a long way with this. You really don't need much. So once you have this, go ahead, wipe it onto an area, and it is ready to remove immediately. So once you put it on here, you grab your microfiber towel, go ahead and start wiping it off. So just gonna grab it, start applying it to the surface. This is a pretty small surface. You could probably do half of the down tube all at once. All right, so now once you have it all nice and applied like that, go ahead and grab your microfiber, same thing as before, make sure it's in squares. Start wiping it off. You're gonna see the color has a little bit more of a deeper sheen to it. It's not gonna add much gloss. On a glossy paint, it will add more gloss, but on satin or matte paint, it's just gonna kind of deepen the color and add somewhat of a sheen. So you wanna go ahead and just wipe that a few times, buff it, try to get as much as you can off. Once you do that, flip it over, do the same thing again. Try to make sure you get everything off. Once you are done with the second wipe, grab a new towel and do it again, one more wipe. The reason why you want to do this is sort of as a precaution, because if you miss anything on here, it is going to cure with the little blotch that you left, and that is not going to be easy to remove. On glossy paint, you can polish it and it'll come off no problem. But with matte paint or satin paint, you cannot polish it, because if you polish that area, you're gonna get a little spot with a sheen on it and it's just gonna look bad. So thoroughly inspect it under a good light and make sure you didn't leave anything behind. Once you've done that, just move on to the next area and go around the bike doing that. You don't want to do too much of a large area at the same time, because it will start to cure as soon as you apply it. So you kind of want to work in small sections. I'll recommend doing like this side, then the other side, do this side of the fork, do like half the fender, and so on, so on. One thing I forgot to mention is you do want to wear gloves while you are doing this. This is a chemical, so you don't want to get this onto your skin. Also, when you use the IPA to prep the bike, this is removing oils from the bike, but if you get it on your hands, it would also be removing oils from your hands, and this is gonna end up with a painful dry hand. So for both the preparation step and the ceramic coating part, you wanna make sure you are wearing gloves. Any gloves are fine, just as long as they're a nitro glove. I get these from Harbor Freight. They're usually under 10 bucks for a box. I probably have like 10 boxes at this point. If you don't have a Harbor Freight near you, you can also get these kind of gloves at Home Depot, Menards, Amazon. They come in 3 mil as well. 3 mil is usually too thin and those rip on me. There's also 7 mil, 10 mil, and so on. For me, 5 mil is a good happy medium. They rip sometimes, but I really don't have many issues with them, so this is the mil I would recommend. And that's about it. You just wipe on the product, wipe it off, move on to the next area, and you're good to go. You can coat the bike and probably from start to finish, so prepping it to coating it, you can probably get the whole thing done in 2 hours or less. Once you've applied all the ceramic coating, it just has to sit there and cure, so do not touch it. They take 12 to 16 hours to cure, just to be on the safe side. Leave it uninterrupted for 24 hours. After that, you're free to ride it, and water is just gonna beat off. Bugs are gonna be so much easier to remove. Overall, maintaining the bike and keeping it look clean is gonna be a lot easier to do. So after every ride that I do, I usually have a bottle of this made. I leave it in my house. When I bring my bike in, I'm a little OCD, so I keep my bikes inside the house. Soon I'll have more bikes, so I'm probably gonna change that, but for now, my bike is in the house. But Every time I come back from a ride, I spritz it down with this, wipe it down, and my bike is clean, looking brand new, ready for the next ride. Even if you don't ceramic coat your bike, I still highly recommend this product. It just makes cleaning the bike much easier. I hate having to turn on the water, grab the hose, put soap, dry the bike. It's just a tedious process I don't like doing often. And if I had to wash my bike with soap every single time, I don't think I'm gonna do it. But with this, it's just so easy. You can spray the bike, wipe it down, have it clean in like 30 seconds to a minute. As a bonus, another product I highly recommend is called Speed Coat by a company called Pearl Nano. This is a quick detailer spray. So similar to this one, you just spray it onto the bike and wipe it off. But this one adds a little bit of gloss, but it also helps feed into and renew the hydrophobic effects of the ceramic coating. So this will help you maintain the coating to keep it lasting longer. If you don't have a ceramic coating, it'll apply a light layer of protection on there to also give your bike some protection. So again, whether you have your bike ceramic coated or not, this is another one I would recommend. And this is not just for your bike again. These are automotive products you can also use for your cars. But for me, I have my cars and my bikes coated, so I use them for both. All right, well, that about wraps up this video. Hopefully I gave you guys all the information you need to go ahead and ceramic coat your bike on your own. If you have any questions at all or don't understand anything, please leave me a comment and I'll get back to you as soon as I can to help you out. If you see the bike as a bike, that's fine. Don't worry about it. Ride it how you ride it. But for me, when I'm spending thousands of dollars on these bikes, I want to keep them looking great as long as possible. This product only costs 70 bucks. Only takes a few hours of your time, so I figured why not? One thing I forgot to mention is this coating is rated to last 4 to 6 years. So once you apply this on there, you have the protection on there on your bike for 4 to 6 years. 4 years would be on the downside if you're kind of rough with your bike, keep it outdoors, don't wash it as much. And then 6 years will be if you wash it more, keep it inside, and it doesn't get seen by the elements so much. So for 70 bucks, 60 bucks to keep your bike protected for that long, in my opinion, you'd be a little crazy not to do it. Well, thanks for watching, everyone. Like I said, if you guys have any questions, just let me know. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.